Hello and welcome to another episode of The Wannabe Entrepreneur, the podcast about what's really like to bootstrap a company. And I'm back doing interviews. It's been a while since I did my last interview. I took a little break, but now we are restarting with a great guest, Sveta Bay. Welcome to the show.
So happy to be here, especially after this long break for you. It's like an honor for me. Thanks a lot.
You have the honor to be the star of the new season of the WB interviews. It's really great. I've been seeing you around Twitter quite a lot, and I thought, okay, I need to interview you, and I'm super excited that you immediately accepted the invite. Sveta is the co-founder of MakerBox, which basically tries to solve probably one of the biggest challenges of indie hackers, which is marketing, right? And there's a lot of memes and people just joking around. But myself, I've been doing this for, I guess, more than a year now, and it's for sure true. Like, marketing is the hardest thing. It's what takes us the most time. And people initially think that it's building a product or the design, whatever. No, marketing is really the hardest thing. So it's really cool. You have a lot of great suggestions in your guide for people that they can use in their own products, and we'll be talking more about the MakerBox and about your own journey. But let's kick things off with a small introduction about yourself. Who is Sveta?
I started all this in the entrepreneurial thing 3 months ago. It was like May when we firstly thought about MakerBox with Dan. We are like a couplepreneurs, if there's such word. Yeah. But I still worked on my job. I was a project manager for about 5 years, I guess. It was like FMCG companies, e-commerce companies. In May, we came up with the idea that we need to do something for ourselves. We need to make a product that we like, that we think that will be useful, and it won't be just like, like in many corporations for just because your manager said it. let it be like that. So we started MakerBox on May, and since then we launched 3 tools, three resources already. And I quit my job in the end of June. And since July, I'm working on MakerBox full time with them.
That's great. So in May 2022, you decided to create something, and in June or end of June 2022. So what is that? 2 months?
About 2 months, I guess. Yeah.
2 months. You decided to. That was super fast.
There were some obstacles. I worked in a fintech company that works on Vietnamese market. And if I wanted to continue work there, I needed to move to Vietnam. And it is like quite a big decision to make. So we, like, one evening, we just sat and thought, well, does these risks need to be done? Do we need to move to like another part of the planet? Probably start there, our side hustle, or should we now stop this thing with corporates and do our product full time? So we just had no choice to make a choice right at that time.
But it does sound interesting to just move to Vietnam, and it's cool. There are so many indie makers there as well. I mean, we have the reference Tony Dean, right? But there are many others.
We watched so many videos about Vietnam, and I really want to go there, but I just don't want to work in a company and be in Vietnam. So I hope that I'll visit it someday.
And tell me about this entrepreneurial passion, because this seems that you like went from a product to quitting your job, to even though that the kind of the decision was made for you when your company, or was made by your company when they decided to move to Vietnam. Is this something new to you, to be an entrepreneur, or did you try it before in the past?
I never tried it before.
Really?
It was more about Dan. He worked in startups previously,
Okay.
so he has this entrepreneurial thing mostly. And I worked in corporations, in really huge corporations for 4 years, I guess. So I even didn't work in startups. I don't have such experience.
Wow.
You know that corporations, all these big companies, they now try to do like startups inside these corporations. So I was in these fields for some time. So it's like, yeah, we are backed by corporation, but we are like super fast, super cool, super modern.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not like that, but the positioning is like that.
So tell me more about that. I'm curious because I'm always interested in knowing how companies, big companies, try to still keep that startup feeling and try to innovate. And you say that it's not really the same. So since you have experience there, what are the biggest difference? Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that corporations want to do it because they want to experiment. They have a lot of money. They have hypotheses, ideas, and they don't want to create, for example, a big department to test this idea. So they just hire, I don't know, 5-10 people to make something. You really have a lot of freedom when you work in this startup inside the corporation, but you still have a lot of this paperwork, presentations that you remake for 20 times, these endless meetings with managers. You still have it, but also you have freedom. So not every decision is comes from
Upper
like
management.
top to you, from upper management. But you can suggest something, but you still need to go through all these corporation processes.
Right. Got it. So it's not as fast as they want you to be, or as the startup needs to be, right? Did you feel that it would sometimes small decisions, small feature implementation, small tests would take a long time?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a really funny thing. We made like a platform, a B2B platform inside the e-commerce store that works on B2C market. So it was something new. We need to make like we need to attract another customers. We need to make another like profile and so on and so forth. My suggestion was to run user interviews because we need to understand what small businesses buy, how do they want to buy, how do they want the shipment, and so on. And I told that, guys, let's go and do it. And the upper management told that, well, you are not a specialist in this field. You don't have a degree, so we need to hire another people to make this. And it was like, wow.
You need to hire someone to do the user interviews and research.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How long did it take to hire someone?
Well, I actually don't know because I left this company, but there was no such person in 3 months for sure.
Wow, 3 months.
Yeah, and they make it like so complicated. Well, all you need is just, for example, find 30 small businesses. Talk to them, understand their needs, and that's all. It takes, well, if I do it full time, I can make it in a week for sure.
Right. Yeah.
But they make it like a really long process. For example, you first make a scenario, then you align it with your first manager, with your second manager. Then you find interviewees in a really hard way. You just don't outreach people like I do, for example, on LinkedIn and Twitter. You just post, for example, like an opportunity somewhere,
right.
and it takes so much time.
Yeah. Interesting. I also worked in a big company, and even though they tried always to innovate, I also felt that the processes were just in the way of innovation. You needed to follow protocol for everything. And you need a completely different mindset. As a startup, you just need to, as you said, validate your idea, and get it running, and then you'll focus about the other things afterwards, right? So yeah, it's interesting that you also noticed that. And in your current venture, let's call it like that way. So it's you and your partner. What you are more marketing and project management, and he what is his background? Introduce Dan.
Yeah, Dan was a co-founder. He was CEO. He was responsible for sales, for marketing, for hiring, for a lot of things in a startup. It wasn't a tech project, so he has like a really entrepreneurial background, I must say.
Right.
And previously, he also worked as a project manager, I guess.
Okay.
We worked in quite the same field.
So both of you have a similar background, right? So no one knows how to code. No one has a developer background.
Dan codes a little bit. Like we studied in university together, and we had a Python course. He took it deeper. I didn't.
Yeah.
I never wanted to continue this journey. So he knows how to code a little bit, but we don't use it now at all.
Okay. So this is really interesting because I hear a lot founders or people that want to start their own projects, and they always say, yeah, but I don't know how to code. I don't know how to make a product without coding, and hiring developer is so hard. So I need to find maybe a partner. So it's always a big challenge for founders that, well, they are not developers. So this is a great example. I'm super curious to hear how you were able to make your tool, your product, without knowing how to code or with little knowledge about it. So let's go back to the ideation phase. Who had the idea? How did the idea came to be? Tell me about that.
This is a very exciting story. I think it was next evening when we decided not to move to Vietnam, and we sat and just thought, okay, we need to come up with something. Let's brainstorm ideas. I guess we had around 30 ideas. I hope that some of them will be alive. But when we collected these ideas, we understood that to implement something, we need to spend like a lot of money, because we need a tool for making videos. We need a tool to like making our products, making notes, introducing chats in our landing page, hosting. Like, we need a lot of money to launch anything. So the first decision was to make makerbox tools from this problem. We just understood that tools cost too much, and if we want to bootstrap something, it isn't that cheap. It doesn't mean that we just take zero money, make something, and we sell it. No, you need to spend like, I don't know, $300, $200 at least, I guess. So we decided to collect this list of free tools with really great free plans for solopreneurs, for small teams, and we validated this idea. We saw that there are already some of these collections on Product Hunt. There are people who are selling curated products. So we decided to make it better and try to sell it. That was our first product, our first idea. We came up with this problem ourselves and decided to make it not a problem for others. That was Makerbox. We have like different products inside Makerbox.
Right.
Yeah.
So Makerbox is kind of a brand, and then the idea is you have multiple products inside. Okay.
Yeah. To not buy extra domains,
One thing that I like about that, and I'm also kind of doing the same with the WB Space, is that then all of your products kind of point to each other, so you can create an ecosystem of products that, for marketing is also a great way to do so. So it's great. But I love it. So you decided not to move to Vietnam, which is okay. And then what are you going to do? let's brainstorm ideas, and you write down 30 ideas. You decide, okay, but we need a lot of tooling around it. Let's help people find tools, because that's our challenge. So let's solve that challenge. Tell me about that, because now you still need a way to create a website, to sell it. Were you already present on Twitter? Were you already in this indie hacking community?
I'm not. Then was, but I was not on Twitter. I even didn't have a page, I guess. I started tweeted on July 1st. It was my first tweet that I quit my full-time job.
but it's amazing, because you have 1,820 followers. How did it grow so fast?
I have weekly targets to gain followers. So I do, like, I post a lot, I engage a lot. At first, it was really hard to gain followers. It's also about makerbox tools a little bit. When we decided to make it, we understood that we need a no-code solution, because we can't code, we can't make a site from scratch.
Right.
And the thing that we knew is that there is no-code, there are no-code tools, and they are quite popular nowadays. Mm-hmm. So I decided to learn more about them, and I found the hashtags to 100 days of no-code.
Right.
Yeah, and I enrolled this free course. Didn't finish it, but I enjoyed it a lot. So this was the first hashtag where I started to connect with people, because there were a lot of people who share their experience, their progress, and I just engaged a lot. I wrote DMs a lot. It was about, I think, 20-30 outreaches a day, because when you have
cold outreaches, you just send a message.
Not cold. We are. I connected with people who also joined 100 days of no code.
Right.
So we had quite same interest. I supported them. They supported me. We commented on each other posts, because it was like the same journey for us. This was the hardest part. I don't think that without outreaching, without writing DMs, I could grow so fast, because I had like 5-10 followers, and who wants to follow an account who has 5 or 10 followers? So I needed to make a personal touch. I needed to engage more, so that I gained this at least 100 to be like at least a little bit visible on Twitter.
But so tell me, I've seen that hashtag a lot. 100 days no code. I think some people in the community are also following that, but can you explain what this is?
It's a project by Max. I don't remember the surname, but this is a really great project. He teaches people about no-code tools. I guess that now there are another programs, but I enrolled an email course where you get one email daily, and you know more about one no-code tool, or just deep dive into the tool that you learned in previous lesson. Yeah, that's an amazing format.
Do you pay for it?
It was free. I think that now it's a cohort-based course, and it's not free, but it's quite cheap if I remember.
Okay. And so you start getting emails, and you start learning about different tools, and you start following their hashtag and seeing other people posting, and you comment on their posts. But how do you go from there to DMs?
I just saw that they also enrolled in course.
Right.
And you write this greeting, happy that,
right.
Hey, my name is Sveta. I'm also in 100 days of no code. Let's see each other's journey. It's something like that. Or even I reached people who had like a really further progress. They were, for example, on the 50th days, from the 30th day. And I watched what they did, and it was like very cool. I was on my second or third day, and it was inspiring that people can do it daily, even though it's like second month, third month. Just wow! And they just wrote that. That's inspiring.
That's so interesting. And then you started chatting. Did you make friends? People that you still speak with today?
Yeah, of course.
That's
I
so
think
cool.
I don't engaged with big accounts a lot. I just engaged with people who who I connected with these
Yeah.
days before, 2 months ago. Yeah, I also try to engage with big accounts, but
Mhm.
it's I think I do it just less than engaging with those
Yeah.
accounts which I connected days ago.
So this really shows the power of being part of a community or a niche
Yeah,
community, right? You really
yeah,
support each other and you learn so much from each other.
yeah.
And so, how did you pick the tool, the right tool to use to create MakerBox?
We have like two main tools, I think.
Mm-hmm.
For MakerBox tools, we had Airtable.
Right.
For MakerBox frameworks, our main like tool is Notion.
Right. Yeah.
And as for site, we use TypeDream. I love TypeDream a lot.
Why do you like it so much? Is it easy to use?
Yeah, it's really easy to use, and also they are an early startup, and they have a good customer support due to this thing.
Yeah.
When it is a corporation. Well, I've never used Canva, but let's example that Canva
Yeah.
that also builds site. I'm not sure whether I'll get an answer fast and a very detailed answer.
Interesting.
And when I'm using TypeDream, I get answers on the second day.
Mm-hmm.
If I think that, well, it would be cool if they had this feature, I just
Mm-hmm.
can write it, and probably they will introduce it. And that's amazing part of like
Yeah.
buying indie
Yeah. Yeah.
products. The customer support is just amazing.
So when someone acquires your product, and I think that's the last part that we need to understand, because we spoke about the frameworks and the tooling that you use to create the product, and now we need to speak about your distribution and yeah, basically how can people acquire it. So I guess they can go through your website and acquire it from there, right?
Yeah. In our website, there is a link to Gumroad, and
So you use
we,
Gumroad. Okay.
we use Gumroad now.
Tell me about it. Gumroads. What are your thoughts? Do you like it? Why did you decide using Gumroads?
I liked a lot because it like gave us an opportunity to make such things. It's easy to use. Yeah, it has its own commission, but you don't need to deal with finance a lot.
Yeah.
You don't need to set up all these payments things. And well, like we are not making billions now, so it's okay to pay the commission, and people trust Gumroad.
Yeah.
I think this is also quite important thing
Yes.
because you download free stuff from Gumroad, you buy things on Gumroad, you just believe in this thing. We are not a corporation which everybody knows, so we need to make these trust points also.
Yeah.
But
So-
first of all, we chose it because it was easy to use. Yeah, you just make a link, you just download description, and here you go. You can make your first dollar online.
Yeah, the commissions are very high though, especially in the beginning. I know that they get reduced as you go, which is great. But in the beginning, they are quite high. They're around like 10% or something.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it was about 9%, but when you reach 1,000, it lowers to 7%, and when you reach 10,000, it lowers to 5%.
So 10,000 in total, or 10,000 per month?
In total, yeah.
In total. Wow. Okay. Great. Did you already reach 10,000?
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Wow. So
that was a great milestone
I can imagine.
to lower our commission from 9 to 5%.
Wow, it's a big chunk. So okay, I guess we understand now the full product, right? You have the tools, we understand the tooling, we understand the distribution, you use Gumroad. Again, everything was created without the need of any coding involved, right? Which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a great example for all the known developer founders out there. And now it reaches the part which is the most important, which is also what you're trying to solve, which is marketing. You have a product, you have a distribution method, you have everything, but now you need to start selling, and you need to somehow convince people and show to people that what you're selling can save a lot of time and really help them build their products. So how did you go with that? How did that process go?
We have many distribution channels, of course.
Okay.
The main one is Product Hunt. We launch our products on Product Hunt, but it's not just we build something and we go launch. No, launch is like quite a long process.
Right.
If we take it from the very beginning, we make an early bird option when we sell like for a really low price for people who can buy the product without the product, people who trust with us because we launched products before, and people who just like the idea. So we give this opportunity so that we have first users and we can get testimonials from them. We can get social proof so that our site won't be just buy this because I sell this, buy this because some people like it, these people tried it, these people use it for that, and so on and so forth. So this early bird option really helps us get social proof.
Right.
And
makes
also
sense.
these people will support us on Product Hunt, and it really always works that way. So
that's a great tip. That's a great tip. A lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
But so basically, you sell your product for with a big discount, right?
Yeah,
you give the
it's
early
about
bird discount.
70%, I guess.
70%.
It's really big discount.
Which is great for the people buying it, and it's great for you for two reasons. First of all, you are still asking for money, which is still a barrier that if people don't like it, they will never cross that barrier, even if it's $1. They don't want to give your credit card.
Yeah.
And second, as you said, testimonials, right? Now, when you sell it for the normal price, you can say, hey, these 100 people or even 10 people are already using it, so it works as social proof, right?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, it's social proof, and secondly, we get feedback and we can make the product perfect. It's not just the feedback is always really great. We made the last feedback iteration recently on MakerBox workbook. We are closing early bird option today, and we are launching on Thursday. So I asked early birds how was the product. Not the product, but demo version of product. That's how it works. We just send, we ask for the feedback, then we collect all this feedback. We think about what do we need to change, and then we change it to make the product perfect, not only as we see it, but also as our customers see it, as users see it. For example, this time I had two comments that it would be better if there were some examples, and we added these examples. So why not adding this if people who already bought this product need them? It means that everybody else also will need it, probably.
And that's definitely the beauty of Notion, right? Because people if you download the PDF, that's it. You have the PDF and it does not update itself, whereas Notion is always updating it. So it's really great. One question though, Notion, there's no way to make a Notion page private, or you can make it private, but then there's no way to automate the process of inviting people. How did you handle this? Did you just accept that the link is public and expect that people won't share it between themselves, or do you have any other strategy behind it?
We just accept it, frankly. I don't think that it's quite a big problem. We don't sell a $1 million solution, $1 million product. The price is under $50, so it's not a big deal to buy it for people. It's like an impulse purchase. So it's probably easier to buy than to search for a free solution. I hope so.
No, makes sense. I have my own guide as well, and I also accepted it. It's much easier. Okay, so your first distribution is through, after of course you do your prep, it's through Product Hunt, which worked really well already for you, right?
Yeah.
So can you go your first launch? Can you tell us a little bit how did it go, or how many upvotes you got? Like, what was your position, and how much money did you make?
Yeah, the first product was MakerBox tools that we launched in Product Hunt. We got second product of the day. Yeah,
Wow.
and I think we got around $2,000 that into 2 days after launch. I think it was around that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a really good result for us. It made us understand that we can be ramen profitable, which is also great. So we prepared for the launch a lot. It was the first launch for me. Dan had an experience with launching on Product Hunt because he worked in a startup which also launched about like 2 months ago before we launched.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knew a little bit about it, and we just followed the strategy. We just did whatever we can do. It was hard, but I think that day we outreached every person who we know.
Yeah. That's
on
the
Product
way.
Hunt. Because it was like the first launch. It was hard. I even didn't have a Twitter account. I just couldn't write to anybody and share anywhere.
Yeah. But still, second product of the day. That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
How many followers does Dan has on Twitter? Is it a big account?
I guess now he has around 3,000. But
3,000.
when we launched, he had around 400, I guess,
400.
or 300.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a really small account that day.
But still, great result, and you got 2K in the first, basically during the launch. But then my question is, you launch, and then you can see a peak, right? It's normal, but then it starts going down. And the thing is, for you don't sell as a subscription, right? So you sell it once, and that's it. How do you make sure that after your launch, you keep having new people coming and acquiring your product? What other marketing channels do you use?
Now, the first channel that I can name is Twitter, of course. A lot of people come from Twitter, but that day we didn't have this channel at all.
Right.
We were active on platforms. We split the platforms between us. I am active on Product Hunt. I participate in discussions. I post discussions. On Product Hunt, you have quite an easy way to a little bit promote your product. You write, you ask a question. You write about your experience with your product, insert a link, and ask for other people's experience.
Right.
And when they see this discussion, they read everything that you wrote. Sometimes they click to your link. Sometimes they buy. Sometimes they just write their opinions. But you still show up. You still promote your product. So my platform to weekly engage in these discussions. Sometimes it's something for promotion. Sometimes I just participate in discussions because I like it.
Yeah.
So my platform is Product Hunt, and Dan is active on Indie Hackers. He posts here a lot, and on he tried Reddit, but it was a pain.
Yeah.
An absolute pain. I didn't even try it. I just received all this.
Yeah, hey, I totally get it. But I've been getting also a lot of complaints because I've never used a Product Hunt for that. I can see, for instance, one of your threads here with 44 upvotes, where you basically say, I'm Sveta Bay. I launched 3 products on Product Hunt in 3 months, and got 2,000 upvotes and 13K. Ask me anything, right? So this, and then you kind of describe, and you have links and everything, and then you have a lot of engagement, which is great. And in Product Hunt, you can also do something similar, where you either comment on people or you write your own posts. And I was doing that very heavily. It was working really well, I have to be honest. Like, a lot of people was clicking, but some people were really upset. They're like, yeah, you're a spammer. So then everyone, like a lot of people, got super upset at me on Indie Hackers because of that. But it was really shitty for me because, of course, I love the community. I don't want people to see me as the spammer, but also stopping that means stopping my sales, because that was my only source of user, of traffic. More mostly, I also have Twitter and a little bit of SEO, but mostly that. Do you worry about that? Do you worry that if these platforms fail on you, if people start like labeling you as a spammer, this might affect your future revenue?
Not no, it absolutely doesn't worry me because well, we are working on SEO now. We write articles to our blog, and in long term, this I hope will be our main channel.
Right.
Now we use channels that well, like open to us. I know that Indie Hackers community hates links and everything self-promotional. Like Reddit hates it at all, 100%.
Yeah, Reddit is terrible. Yeah.
Indie Hackers is a little bit more open to like see the link. Sometimes they are not, but sometimes they just can. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. And on Product Hunt, there is no such thing as like you prohibited to promote your product with the link. Never do it. It's just open. Probably it's just not closed yet.
Yeah.
So you must give it a try.
I will for sure. How often? So you do it? You post a question once per week. Is that it?
I post, I guess, 2 or 3 questions per week. One with the links on some products. Well, for example, last week I insert a link of our workbook website that we are like today. We are collecting all the feedback and make final changes. But
Right.
I asked for the feedback on my website, and still it had like 300 clicks because people they want to give feedback, but they need this link to see the site. So they just go there, they give feedback, and some of them actually buy it.
Yeah,
that's also
amazing.
linked. But wow, why is it bad? It's not bad at all.
I don't think it's bad as well. But there's people that do, and I kind of understand, because in these platforms, the reason why you are in these platforms, so of course you want to connect, of course you want to meet other indie makers, but one or maybe 60 or 70% the reason we are there, I would assume, is also to get sales. Or would you not be there? Do you think you would use Product Hunt as much if you didn't have your product?
Well, it's a hard question for me because we make products for solopreneurs, for indie makers, and I just and I just can't be out of Product Hunt. So I just think that I take all the resources that I can take from Product Hunt. Of course, even if I couldn't insert links, I would be active here. Well, I need to
make a living, right?
Yeah, I need to get points on Product Hunt. Also, some people convert to Twitter, where we, for example, where we can connect, where we can DM, where we can like come up with something. So it's just a place where I meet people who do the same thing, first of all, and secondly, who are my target audience. Like this is exactly for whom we are building this product.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
So even if I couldn't promote it here, I would just like interested in user interviews or well, when I'm asking for the feedback, I'm really asking for the feedback.
Yeah, of course.
I make these changes. I don't just insert my link so that I get clicks, so that I get sales. Course. No, the main thing is, well, I really need this feedback because I will sell this product and I need it to be easy to understand my website.
Yeah, it's our community, and we make money from the community, and we are members of the community as well, right? Like we want to meet others. So yeah, it's definitely I totally see your point because I'm doing exactly the same.
So you definitely understand the point.
Yeah, definitely, and I also I've been trying to focus more on SEO and other ways of, like, I call it passive marketing, because I think that's really the future. It's something that I should have started earlier on, and it's great that you're already starting it because you're so early in your journey that it's really amazing. One thing that kind of to understand now, you both, I guess, quit your jobs. Are you both full-time in the
Yeah.
Okay, makerbox? So you're both full-time in makerbox, and you're great because you already make 13K, which is amazing. So I guess you don't have a lot of anxiety, because for me, I haven't made that much. So I've been doing this for a year, so I get much more excited. There's a lot of people also that get much more anxiety around it. But yeah, tell me, what was the big difference? You quit your job, and now what? Like, do you start feeling anxious? Did you start feeling, okay, I need to work 100 hours a week? Are you able to somehow disconnect and live your life together as a couple and not think about work? Or like, how do you manage that?
Well, I don't think that I'm taking it as a job, which I'm taking like this time I'm working, this time we are not working and we are not discussing work. That's absolutely not like that. It's always exciting to I don't know, to go out in the evening and brainstorm in a fancy atmosphere about future product, about the needs, about what do we need to do.
Yeah.
It's like it's really it's suited great in our lifestyle,
Yeah.
and we don't feel any anxiety at all. We felt the anxiety when we started because we didn't have much savings, and we prepared not to have $1 for 6 months.
Okay.
So, but when we got our first money after Product Hunt launched, we understood that, okay, if we can make money, then we can make money.
Yeah.
So we just set the target. We understand that we need to build. We build
Yeah.
that users need, and well, why won't it work? Because we are not. We didn't try to build SaaS as our first product because we don't understand our audience. We don't know a lot about the problems. We firstly need to launch like this content products. We need to understand the users better. We need to understand the problems. We need to validate that people are ready to buy it. And only then we can spend I don't know, 3 months, 4 months building with our passive income from products that we already launched.
Right.
So
Right.
This was the idea. So of course, if we decided to launch SaaS first, it was like an absolute anxiety. Will it go well? Will people buy it? And even if we, for example, sell it for like $10, we need at least 200 people to be run and profitable, and that's just crazy. 200 customers in 1 month. How to find them? So we just didn't start with risky products. We started with products where we see the pain, where we see the need, and where we feel ourselves as experienced people who can share their knowledge, their experience, and so on.
Yeah.
We just didn't start with risking.
Makes sense.
We started with something that we know.
You start with something that would produce money fast.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes total sense, and definitely it's working. How many hours do you work per day, would you say?
It depends. It depends a lot. We can work 12 hours a day if it's like a launch day, or we need to deliver something really fast. For example, this weekends this weekends we work the whole weekends because today we sent a workbook and we needed to finish it to make it perfect. So these 2 days, weekdays, were full of work, and today we didn't make quite a lot. We just sent it, and now I'm on podcast, and it's quite a vacation holiday for me. So it really depends. We make our own schedule, but in average we definitely work more than we worked in companies.
Okay,
I guess
that's a good I was about to ask that.
I guess it's about 50, 60 hours a week. It depends on week, but it's definitely more. But it's really hard to calculate because like I treat Twitter like a job. I don't treat it like a just social network when I chat with my friends.
It's both. It's weird because it's both, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I chat here with like people about nothing about makerbox in DMs sometimes, but also I need to post daily so that Twitter don't shadow ban me and so on.
I totally get what you mean.
I spent time there. It's more than an hour, definitely. So how to name it? It's not just pure work where I just
to be honest,
think
if we put Twitter as part of my job, then I would like put a lot of hours because I wake up, that's the first thing I checked, and I go to bed, that's the last thing I check. So it's Twitter that and I totally understand. Like for us, it's mixed. It's work and pleasure at the same time. And you just said that you work more now than previously, but is it worth it so far? I mean, it's only been a few months, but is it worth it quitting your job? Like, is the thrill and the energy that you get much better than working for other companies, or like do you still think maybe I will go back and work for others in the future?
I absolutely enjoy this all in the entrepreneurship thing. I absolutely will never come back to corporations. Well, probably if I will have a huge need, at least I'll consider startup, but I really don't want to go back there. I enjoy doing what I like. I enjoy doing what I want. The best thing is that I can come up with ideas that I want to implement, not just like that somebody told me I need to do it.
Totally
and it's not completely sure. Well, in one corporation where I worked, we launched the site. We built it with a consulting company for 1 year. 1 year of building without like any launching, everything. It was like fully waterfall structure. We built it step by step. And after a year, we launched it, and well, it was awful. There was absolutely no need, but we spent a year building something that users won't need. But the corporation was quite okay with the results. That's just something they needed, and it's like so dissatisfying in the end. You just put a lot of effort, you work overtime, you care about it, but in the end, okay, we have a tick. We made this project because our top managers told us to do it. So let's celebrate it. Well, during our dinner, we will order some pizza. Such a great day. That's just frustrating. You spent a year building something.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you just nailed one of the big frustrations of working for big corporates, which is like you work, but you don't see your the impact of your work. So, and then like spending a whole life building stuff where you don't see the impact can be really frustrating for a lot of people.
Absolutely. I worked in companies for 4 years, but I changed companies yearly. I didn't work more than a year in one company because I just, okay, I made a project. Everybody's satisfied. I'm not at all. So I need to change the company.
It's always like
and
that.
It was, I think if I didn't quit the company, I will just change the companies every year.
And a lot of people do that. A lot of in the tech world nowadays, a lot of people do that.
Absolutely. And now I don't have such problem. We just come up with ideas quite often. We come up with ideas by talking with our users, with people who like connect with us on Twitter, and it's amazing.
Definitely. Have you met other female indie hackers?
I'm not sure about indie hackers.
Or like entrepreneurs, because the reason why I asked this is that I always find that this is still very like male dominated. Like there's so many more men in the indie hacking Twitter and everything. So yeah, that's why I was wondering if you like, you know, some others, like if you get support or like hang out on Twitter with other women makers.
Yeah. I connected with Elsie. She has an app about fitness and also a habit tracker, I guess. We talk a lot with Christine. Christine has a newsletter, and she is a writing person. Yeah, but I guess that's all. Well, of course, I had a small conversation with other makers, but I remember a deep conversation with these people.
Yeah. Do you have any, and sorry to put you on the spot here, but do you have any suggestions or ideas how we can motivate more women to like kind of follow the indie hacking journey and like somehow balance a little bit more the gender in our community?
I'm not sure whether we need to like motivate somebody to do something if they don't need it.
Right.
But if they need it, of course, I think that there must be something like to make this journey easier. I saw, frankly speaking, I saw some communities for indie girls, indie makers, but I'm not, well, I don't have time to really participate in communities because like we work for 50, 60 hours and well, I believe that communities are more an essential thing for people who don't get a straight feedback, just they can't get a feedback right now. But as I'm working with them, we are also sharing our thoughts. We are also giving feedback to each other, so we don't have such pain. So for us, this community will be like a vitamin where we for example, join where we read something, but we just don't have time to participate because we have Twitters, we have like indie hackers, product hunt, and this is a lot. If I put all my energy in these platforms, I just end up doing nothing because like I'm so exhausted communicating and chatting. But these people who don't have a co-pilot, a person who they can who can give a feedback like really fast and straight, I guess community is like an amazing choice where people have the same interests and they can support you and they can give you a feedback and you can give a feedback also, and you develop yourself faster, you develop your startup faster. So I just don't have this problem. For these people it's a painkiller, for me it's a vitamin.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but also in general, why are there communities only for women? Like, why isn't better to just join a mixed community?
I agree with you on this point. I really agree with you on this point because, well, I don't think that there should be like any division at all.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that like women need something extra, I don't know, some
support
extra
group.
knowledge, extra support, extra information, extra anything. Just why is this belief even exists? I just don't understand.
Interesting.
I consume information like every other person. I just need like this community that's for everyone, not for a particular group of people. Why?
Do you have any friends that by seeing your example somehow asked you like, hey, I wanna do that, Sveta, how can I do it, how can I start? Are you like a role model already? You feel you're a role model for your friends, female or male friends?
I get some DMs asking to share my journey, to make something for Makerbox for free, but I always share my journey, but we just make Makerbox without any further help. So it's just our policy. We don't take people to to support our product,
Right.
especially for free. I don't think that any help, any entrepreneurship, any first-time job should be free. That's just crazy.
So you have people asking to work on MakerBox for free.
Yeah. Okay. They say they write me that they even don't need money. They just need
That's
to
cool.
get. Yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to people.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't want them to do it because it's just not okay to offer job for free. If you don't feel the value of your job, it's something that you should work with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. As for friends, my one friend, she works in an edtech startup, and she decided to develop her personal brand on LinkedIn. So we are working on it also a little bit.
And your example in that case somehow motivated her to do that.
Yeah. She's like a coach to people who want to go into tech. So I think that's the best thing to do is to go to LinkedIn and write about it, to share some products, to make some products, to appoint consultations. Like, amazing thing to do.
That's great. As a last question, what are your goals until the next year? Let's say, what are your goals?
Wow, next year. That's a lot. We have monthly plannings, and I think that's like
until the end of the year. Okay, let's make it easier.
The end of the year. First of all, we are planning to go to Asia.
Vietnam.
That will be, not Vietnam yet. Indonesia, Bali, like every entrepreneur in the
Yeah, obviously you need to do that. And Lisbon, you also need to come here to Lisbon. That's also part of it, you know.
So I think like to move there in the end of October to see how it's going. We want to make a small agency about building landing pages because we think that we are quite good at it. Our products have sales, so we can make a good copy, we can make good visuals. So now I'm learning Webflow to make it perfect, and I want to like make a transition of MakerBox from TypeDream to Webflow because it's more complicated. It has more features. It's more flexible. Let it say so. So probably one of the things that we will do is an agency that helps that builds landing pages. Of course, we will go on with MakerBox products, and we have also some ideas, but they need validation first. I don't want to share it now, but it will be quite soon. I guess as soon as we launch MakerBox workbook, it will be on Thursday. Then we will try to validate our next idea, and if it goes well, we will have another launch in October.
Do you have any monetary goals? The classic MRR?
Yeah. We want to reach 10K monthly in January, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
That's great. So, that's amazing. You are
that's
on your way.
That's not easy.
It's not. No, it's definitely. That I know.
But we will try to do it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. And Sveta, it was a pleasure speaking with you. By the way, you are also one of the judges of our demo day, the WP demo day that will happen in October. So that's super cool. Thank you again for accepting that invitation.
And, very excited about it.
Yeah, I think people will learn a lot from you. We already have the 3 judges lined up, so that's great. And thank you so much for sharing your journey and sharing about MakerBox. It's super exciting journey, and I'm super excited as well to see how it goes and how it grows in the next months. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot for inviting me. It was a pleasure to talk with you. It was my first experience with podcasts, so it's really exciting.
Oh, cool. And you started in the best podcast of India. No, I'm joking.
Well, with no doubt.
Yeah, with no doubt. So I will also share your Twitter profile on the show notes. for everyone listening, you can go to makerbox.club. Again, the link will also be in the description. So, and anything else you want me to share? Do you wanna say something as well for people to follow you, or are these links enough?
I think we have a special discount code with on MakerBox frameworks or tools.
You have it, but it's only for it's only for the WB members. It's only for the community.
Okay, got it.
So if you want to get a discount, join the community.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe we can do something as well for the listeners. If you're up for that, we could do that.
I'll think about it. But it's better to join community and receive all this discount.
For me, it's better, yeah, for sure.
So let's keep it in community.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to get the super good discount, go to join the WB space. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Tiago.
And this was another Wannabe Entrepreneur. If you want to listen to other episodes, including awesome interviews, go to wannabe-entrepreneur.com/episodes. If you want to become a member of the WB Space, which is a community for starting bootstrappers, people like you and me trying to reach profitability with our projects, it costs $10 per month, and you also get access to MakerBox discount and a bunch of other great discounts. And I wait for you there. There's also merch. There's a lot of ways for you to support this podcast. You can tweet about it. You can send me a DM with ideas. So anyways, the links will be all in the show notes. This was another Wannabe Entrepreneur. See you next time.